Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a great and wonderful day. And unfortunately for us, our days are not being too great. At least for gamers, that is. If you're a gamer as much as I am, then, well, you'll probably understand that, our days are kind of being cutting short. Mostly because they're coming for extremist gamers, whatever that means. Last time I checked, I'm not really an extremist. I just kind of just play games and do a YouTube channel on the side giving you guys information and news. So I'm not quite sure what makes me extremist here, but I digress. So we're going to go over that today. The feds are coming for extremist gamers. The Department of Homeland Security and FBI are in dialogue with Roblox, Discord, Reddit, and others. Gaming companies are coordinating with the FBI and Department of Homeland Security to root out so-called domestic violent extremist content, according to a new government report. Noting that the mechanisms have been established for social media companies to police extremism, the report recommends that the national security agencies establish new and similar processes with the vast gaming industry. The exact nature of the cooperation between federal agencies and video game companies, which has not been previously reported, is detailed in a new Government Accountability Office report. The report draws on interviews conducted with 5 gaming and social media companies, including Roblox, and an online gaming platform, Discord, a social media app commonly used by gamers, Reddit, as well as a game publisher and social media company that asked the GAO to remain anonymous. Which is weird because I don't really use Reddit, and I know a lot of people use Reddit, but I don't really use it. I find it actually terrible. In fact, if you go into League of Legends actual Reddit, for their Discord, it's honestly terrible. Even when you want to go look for people on there, it is the worst experience imaginable. Because if you try to go on there and you post exactly what they say, or not exactly what they say, but it's slightly tilted off from their looking for or whatever, they'll just automatically delete your thing quickly, and it's really annoying. It's really, really annoying. So, and there's bad things about the League of Legends subreddit. There has been numerous cases to where they actually censor everything, and they really don't like Thorin, Monte Cristo, and their number one favorite, Richard Lewis. So, the League of Legends Reddit is god-awful. But that doesn't mean all subreddit or Reddit is awful. It's just awful in general. So, it's not great. The Intercept reached out to be the companies identified in the GAO report for comment, but none responded on the record at time of publication. The FBI and the Department of Homeland Security have mechanisms to share and receive domestic violent extremism, threat-related information with social media and gaming companies, the GAO says. The report reveals that the DHS Intelligence Office meets with gaming companies and that the companies can use these meetings to share information with INA, DHS Intelligence Office, about online activities promoting domestic violence, violent extremism, or even simply activities that violate the company's terms of service. Through its 56 field offices and hundreds of resident agencies subordinate field offices, the FBI receives tips from gaming companies of potential law-breaking and extremist views for further investigation. The FBI also conducts briefings to gaming companies on purported threats. Okay, so I really want to know what they mean by extremist views, because lately the FBI has always thought that the extremist views would be anybody that's on the right. So are they going to say that the right is the extremist views or what have you? Because I'm not quite sure what they're doing here. In fact, I don't think it's really any of the FBI's job to really be spying in onto specific people's messages at all, especially on from Discord or gaming websites. There isn't going to be anybody that's going to be doing extremist stuff. Now, some people may say outlandish or crazy things from gaming, which is normal. Most people, when they are playing a game, especially an online game, mind you, it's not going to be in the greatest flavor, and everything can be taken out of context. This isn't something that's really too surprising here, but that doesn't mean they're going to go out and commit these said acts. Remember, numerous people that are talking about the whole person that got their head bashed in are trying to defend the black girl that bashed her head in because, because they don't know what a square up is. It's like they completely live outside of the actual norms of people when they go into fighting. Normally when people fight, and this is going a little bit off topic here, they kind of raise their fists and, go into defensive position. This is kind of normal. This is not outside of that realm. So, what I'm getting at here is that things are usually blown out of proportion a lot of the times, and most people don't go out and commit an act of violence when they go and say things or go push things too far. As like the black teenager did, she obviously went way too far. As for this, people say a lot of crazy things. I mean, anybody will remember the Modern Warfare 2 lobbies. So, expecting to think that these things are gonna be pushed on as actual fact is insanity, and the FBI can use that to go break into somebody's home, traumatize the family over words that people are just using and not going to actually commit the crime. It's actually quite insane, really. The GAO warns that the FBI and DHS lack an overarching strategy to bring its work with gaming companies in line with broader agency missions. Without a strategy or goals, the agency may not be fully aware of how effective their communications are with companies or how effective their information sharing mechanisms serve the agencies. Overall missions, the GAO says. The report ends with a recommendation that both agencies develop such a strategy, a recommendation that DHS concur with, providing an estimated completion date of June 28th this year. All I can think of is the awful track record of the FBI when it comes to identifying extremism. Hassan Piker, a popular Twitch streamer who often streams while playing video games under the panel, Hassan emphasizes about the mechanism. They're much better at finding vulnerable teenagers with mental disabilities to take advantage of. You know what's going to be a crazy world here? I'm actually agreeing with Hassan Piker here. This is insane. I am agreeing with Hassan Piker here. Hassan Piker, I'm actually agreeing with him. That's insane. Okay, but I actually agree with Hassan Piker here. Because, again, the FBI has an awful and terrible track record of going after people that don't necessarily need to be attacked or involved, or they have a horrible track record, or they would be going after people that are just, that doesn't need to go attack. It's insane. The FBI is insanely corrupt, so I don't see this going good anywhere. The GAO's investigation, which covers September 2022 to January 2024, was undertaken at the request of the House Homeland Security Committee, which asked the government auditor to examine domestic violent extremism using of gaming platforms and social media. While there is no federal law that criminalizes domestic violent extremism as a category of crime since 2018, the U.S. government has employed 5 domestic terrorism threat categories. These are defined by the FBI and DHS as racial, ethnically motivated violent extremism, anti-government, anti-authority violent extremism, animal rights or environmental extremism, or abortion-related extremism, and all the other domestic terror threats. I really want to know what they mean by abortion-related violent extremism, because I'm not quite sure what that means. Does that mean like people actually doing abortion and going very far, or does it mean people being anti-abortion? I don't know what they actually mean by that. The GAO study also follows pressure from Congress to top gaming companies to track down on extremist content. Last March, Senate Judiciary Committee Chair Dick Durbin, a Democrat, obviously, sent letters to gaming companies Valve, Activision Blizzard, Epic Games, Riot Games, Roblox Corp, and Take-Two Interactive demanding that they take actions to police gamers. Unlike more traditional social media companies, which in recent years have developed public-facing policies addressing extremism, creating trust in public safety teams, and release transparency reports, online gaming platforms generally have not utilized these tools, Durbin wrote in a letter to Attorney General Merrick Garland. In the letter, Durbin requested a briefing from the Justice Department on what channels exist for DOJ and the online video game industry to communicate and coordinate on the threat of online video games by extremists and other malicious actors. The federal government's interest in combating extremism has risen sharply following the January 6th storming of the Capitol. On his first full day in office, President Joe Biden directed his national security team to conduct a comprehensive review of the federal efforts to fight domestic terrorism, which the White House has deemed the most urgent terrorism threat facing the United States. Which, the White House, aka the Joe Biden administration, has said that the biggest threat to democracy and to our country is MAGA people. So let that sink in. So anybody that would be MAGA under Biden's term or what have you would be a threat to the actual nation, and you would have to send the FBI or Homeland Security, DHS, to the homes of those people, because they're dangerous. Remember, Biden has said this, and this is not really a surprise that he has, but this is a huge problem. Because a lot of the times that people will be surprised is that, a lot of the people that I contact or talk to on when it comes to gaming are very more or less of the far left and more in the center of middle people. They don't engage in politics. They don't really do much of anything. They're just gaming and chilling and living life. So you're going after normal people. It's really insane to me. The federal government says that sharing information with gaming and social media companies is another avenue to identify and combat extremism. The government also recognizes that there are constitutional and legal questions about Americans' free speech rights. Exactly. According to the GAO report, both the FBI and DHS indicated they are proceeding with caution in light of federal litigation on such matters, including one case on its way to the Supreme Court. A response to the 2022 lawsuit brought by Attorney General in Missouri and Louisiana, a federal judge last year prohibited the FBI, DHS, and other federal agencies from communicating with social media companies to fight what they consider misinformation. Exactly. And that's what should be fought here, too. Because, obviously, they're using these... They're claiming these companies, like, they're going after, like, gaming companies because they're not under the term social media and stuff like that, and Discord, which is also not termed under social media, to go after people. They're trying to find a breach or whatever into these things, and we're going to have to broaden our actual language here to say, no, you cannot communicate any companies or anything for freedom of speech type purposes or what have you, because this is insane. Again, this is what they're doing. They're trying to come after people, normal, hardworking people, for no actual reason to put them in jail because they're corrupt and very authoritarian and communistic. So be careful, gamers, my friends, because it's insanity out here, and yeah, it's just nuts. All right, guys, that's the video. Like, try to share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted. This is algorithmic disease, the social media.